Hey everybody, it's Terrell, and this is my second week on testosterone video. I'm going to jump right into a question that my dad asked me this week. This couch is kind of squeaky. Sorry. My dad was in town for the funeral last week. He was officiating for my parents' really, really close friend, and that was really difficult. But the positive that came out of that this week was getting to be together and getting to talk and work through some stuff. So my dad asked me a question, which I thought I would share with you, and it's a little bit long-winded, so bear with me. But the question was, what was my first experience of acute dysphoria? So I had a lot of experiences at a very young age, being 3 or 4, of being really uncomfortable whenever anybody pointed out that I was a girl. I knew that I was different from my brothers. I knew that it seemed clear to me that I wasn't a boy or wasn't allowed to be a boy, but I also definitely knew I wasn't a girl, and wearing dresses was a strange experience for me because I, on the one hand, got a lot of attention from my dad, especially, but from men in general, that when I wore dresses, and I was told that I was really pretty and it felt nice to be special and different, and I was the only girl out of 5 siblings, so having 4 brothers and being differentiated from them was a constant experience for me. So it wasn't as if I could really pretend to myself that I was a boy. I knew there was something different, yet at the same time I also discounted any experiences sort of being a girl because it was outside of my internal landscape, my own perception of my gender. So that's kind of complicated, but really I kind of aligned myself and my gender much more closely to my brothers than to any girls that I knew or that I saw around me, women. Never thought about growing up to be a man, but I definitely thought about growing up to be a boy, or I could see into the future to be a teenager, and I knew I was going to be a boy, or at least masculine presenting, and that would be fine. So it was kind of like a very shocking aha moment in kindergarten when I was 5 years old. And I brought my brothers, my 2 oldest brothers, who are like 8 and 9 years older than myself, to class to be my show and tell. So I thought they were super cool, and I figured everybody else would too. So I brought them into class and talked about them, and mostly just, showed them off, to my class. And at the end of my presentation, I said something like, so when I grow up, I'm going to be just like them. And my teacher, there's questions after, and kids asked some questions, but my teacher specifically asked what I meant, and I think it was asked in a way she was expecting me to say that something about them that I really liked, but it caught me off guard. The question itself was just confusing to me. What did I mean? Well, I just meant like I was going to grow up and look like them, is what I meant. But and she didn't say anything specific that was different from what I had heard from other people, but something about that interaction, something about feeling myself being viewed by an audience, being differentiated so clearly from my brothers, was really jarring. And it was the first time that I guess maybe really let it sink in that I wasn't going to grow up to look just like them. These adults, seemed to think that I wasn't. And I still, I think I still held on to the idea that they were wrong, because I knew my internal gender and how I felt and what I wanted to look like, and I still have that confusion today. I still have that confusion every time that I look in the mirror. So it hasn't gone away. And I remember just feeling really, really dissociated in that moment. And there's something about, for everybody, I think there's something about public speaking, standing in front of people, but to have that to have my identity, my whole identity challenged in front of a group of people, I just kind of felt like I left my body. And that was my first experience of that happening, and it's something that continued to happen and continues to happen many times for me. Gonna leave it there, but I hope that this process, this journey that I'm on and sharing can help somebody. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me, things you want me to talk about, please feel free. Thank you so much for the support. It means the world to me. And please be good to each other. Take care of each other over this season. Thanks, guys.